What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all? This Yogi out here with you know, it's breaking news, y'all. Hopefully we get it right. We got it right this time, but we'll wait till some people get in here first. But yeah, we all get it. We get into the little video, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the channel, do all that good stuff. Um, that's sad news for y'all. All you know, no least somebody like my wife and her mama and my mama, she was still here, but Tina Turner has done passed away, y'all. She done she done went on and made it to the pearly gates, y'all. I'm pretty sure this time is real this time. I'm pretty sure it's real this time. You know what? Yeah, all right, everything's set up just the way we want to do it. But yeah, y'all, Tina Turner passed away, y'all, at the age of 83. Pretty sure this time is real. Last time, I guess it was a bluff, but I guess this time is real. And I guess because, hey, CBS, they wouldn't lie to us, would they? So before y'all blame me, y'all blame CBS because CBS the one put it out there. They just put it out there. It's been 2 hours ago when they dropped this. Um, and I just wanted to come on here and say, rest in peace to Tina Turner. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do a little history test and talk about it and stuff like that. Um, yeah, y'all, man. Tina Turner passed away, man. But like I said, I'm pretty sure this time is for real. They made it up. Last time they had me doing a fast news, but now I guess God called the home, so we can't be mad. Like I say, God called the home. Um, I'll listen to what the news had to say about it. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, let the news play, and we're gonna do a little backstory on. Talk about it. Let the news play a little bit, y'all.
Tina Turner has died at the age of 83. That news coming to us, according to her spokesperson, no cause of death was released. Now, the 8-time Grammy Award winner.
All right, they say no cause of death is has been recorded or record of all that good stuff. So hopefully she just passed away on old age. Um, because I do got a story about something about Muhammad Ali, and I don't think y'all gonna be ready for that yet. So, but I'm gonna start doing my stories like this here, man. I hope y'all can hear it. If you in the chat, let me know. Let me know if y'all can hear it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody? Don't speak at once. Can somebody say they can hear me? Or babe, could you check? Could you hear me? Or your game on? Let me see. Yeah. So anyway, y'all, we're gonna let the nasty the sucker.
Ooh,
You.
what I did?
Couldn't even check for. Let's play it over again so y'all can know I didn't say this. NBC, CBS News said it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, here we go.
Tina Turner has died at the age of 83. That news coming to us, according to her spokesperson, no cause of death was released. Now, the 8-time Grammy Award winner was known as simply the best. You're simply the best. Turner rose to stardom with the act started by her ex-husband, Ike, and the classic.
That's another thing I was just thinking about. I wonder how Ike's face looked when he seen her pass his path. Oh, I know Ike was like, please, Anime, I ain't gonna let you.
If you can fight up there, I bet. If you can fight up there, I bet it was a punch going down.
You think so?
No, she probably had nothing gave it. After all that time, because she had to move on with her life.
Well, they gonna talk. They definitely gonna talk about it. We gonna get it. I got a couple of things saved up.
Y'all,
but yeah, y'all. Rest in peace to Tina Turner, man.
Oh, Tina Turner.
I remember. We had a what you call the thing, the drive-in movie thing, and that place, and she mom took her till she had a concert up there.
Who, Tina?
Yeah. But we didn't know who she was. My mama was going to see.
That was when she came out with What Love Got to Do.
Well, I don't know what song. I can't remember. I just remember we went there to go see it. We all, you can stand on your cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Proud Mary. But it was not until decades later that she revealed that relationship ends. Tina Turner has died at the age of 83. That news coming to us, according to her spokesperson, no cause of death was released. Now, the 8-time Grammy Award winner was known as simply the best. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
We know she wasn't talking about Ike.
Turner rose to stardom with the act started by her ex-husband, Ike, and their classic Proud Mary. But it was not until decades later that she revealed that relationship was plagued by abuse. She agreed to a divorce settlement that left her with virtually nothing. But Turner went on to reinvent herself musically, including recently with a book about her life. One of my favorite Tina Turner quotes, sometimes you've got to let everything go, purge yourself. If you're unhappy with anything, whatever is bringing you down, get rid of it, because you'll find that when you're free, your true creativity, your true self comes out. Yeah, she was someone who had seen an evolution through the years. She was born Anna Mae Bullock in rural Bush, Tennessee.
Anna Mae Bullock.
Her
name was Anna Mae Bullock.
Anna Mae Bullock. That's old Anna Mae.
You could tell that was an old name.
Yeah.
She should have been about 100 then. I think they got other age messed up. About 100, man. The man Anna Mae Bullock. But yeah, y'all, let's continue. Let's listen.
She was living in St. Louis in the late 50s when she actually met Ike Turner, who was performing at.
Yeah, what's good, Liv? Sugar Daddy, what's going on? Yes, sir, yes, sir.
A local club there. But as we have just mentioned, she revealed many years later, after the success of that group, that it was an abusive relationship, at which point she then went on to develop her own solo career, essentially reinventing herself and going on to a very successful career as a solo artist in which she influenced generations of performers after her. She is survived by her children, Craig, who she welcomed with one of her former partners, Raymond Hill. She also has among her children Ike Jr. and Michael, who she adopted. Those were Ike Sr.'s children she adopted when they were married, and Ronnie, who she had together with Ike. Craig, though, died in 2018. Tina Turner, for her part, continued to create art even after leaving the stage. When she decided that she no longer wanted to perform, she said to just make people were happy, that she wanted to look more inwardly at trying to become happy herself, leading to.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, Tina Turner, hey, she back for her days, boy. She was looking good. She was looking good. Old Tina Turner. At 83 though. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say rest in peace to you, Tina. A legend for real, a real legend, music legend. Rest in peace to you, Tina. But we're gonna continue.
She was very
a book that she published called Happiness Becomes.
She was
and it was interesting. A few years ago, she actually sat down with our own Gayle King at her home near Zurich, Switzerland. I remember this interview. It was fascinating to hear about her reflections on her own life. And in fact, at that time, they spoke of her then recently published memoir called My Love Story. And it's a book that Turner told Gayle she had to be convinced to write. She did not actually think that she wanted to do it, but she told Gayle, okay, this is what she said, I'll do it because there's still a lot to be said. But that was a moment of reflection in which she had an opportunity to look back on that 5-decade career, an extraordinary body of work from Tina Turner, really one of the biggest stars ever in music, selling more than 200 million records, an extraordinary feat. And as I said, I
don't know too many people that can do that nowadays. 200 and something million. Ooh, these boys they be happy for just 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. Tina Turner, you know, Michael, all them. I know all them did it, but you know what I'm saying.
Influential figure that generations after her would look to for her style, for her showmanship, for the energy and the vitality that she brought to her performances, but also famously, as we've talked about, what she had endured and the triumphs that she had despite some of those challenges, particularly early on in her career and her life.
You know, when discussing her Broadway musical, there was an interview that she gave talking about what audiences, how they would react to seeing that on the stage. And she felt like it was an important part of her authentic story. And she brought so much sparkle, so much pizzazz. And when you think about her body work, Proud Mary, What's Love Got to Do with It, We Don't Need Another Hero, and of course, Simply the Best, there's to go on and on and on. Empowerment in all of those songs. And I think that that's part of the reason why Tina Turner continues not only to have been an icon for the time period in which she was top of the charts, but for so long afterwards. And you know, not a lot of people actually know that she became a naturalized Swiss citizen. She was living in Switzerland recently, together with her most recent husband. My children were doing a report, Elaine, on her from her beginnings in Nutbush, Tennessee, to becoming a Swiss citizen. And they actually taught me so much about Tina Turner just recently. And it goes to, I think, that longstanding message of being a survivor, of no matter what circumstances you were born into, you have power that lies within you.
Absolutely, and it was a sense of defiance too in her music. Absolute strength in who she was.
Turner. I know. I think I tried it. That they said that had happened a time ago before she had passed away, but found out it wasn't true. But I'm pretty sure it's true this time, y'all. I'm pretty sure it's true this time. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Living legend. Now passed away. At least she gave us music. The hell? Oh, my. Anyway, man. What's going on? 10:48 out. Appreciate that, y'all, man.
Hey, Till.
I heard about it on a live stream from some European friends. Yeah, I just said once I had seen it was true first, I had to do my research first before I could go ahead and say she died again, and then she ain't died. Then I'll be looking like I'm spreading false news. So I had to check on it first and make sure it was right this time. Which I didn't want her to be dead, but you know what I'm saying. Life do move on like that. You know what I'm saying. But let's finish here with let's hear a little bit more what they talking about.
Her voice, which is something else that Gayle King asked Tina Turner about back in 2019. And Tina Turner herself told Gayle, I have this strange voice that most girl singers didn't have. And she described it as deep, and it goes even deeper. But that was part of her charisma. That was part of her energy. That is part of certainly what drew audiences to her and contributed to that winning formula through the years for her. Because it's interesting that she herself in the beginning, she told Gayle, did not like the sound of her voice. She thought it was kind of ugly, she said, because it didn't sound like Diana Ross. But then afterwards, she said that she thought that it sounded like the Guides. And so it was really interesting to hear about the way in which she came to really find the power in her own voice.
And we see a statement from her spokesperson there. We just lost it. I was going to read it to you all, but apparently it's gone at this moment. Oh, there we have it back up again. It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of Tina Turner. With her music and her boundless passion for life, she enchanted millions of fans around the world. So Tina, we will miss you dearly.
She had got herself out of America and went and stayed in Switzerland. Change the air. I don't know. She went and moved in Switzerland. That's probably why the Europeans got the news early, because it was in Europe. She died in Europe, so that's probably why they got the news early than we would in America. You know what I'm saying? Because she had moved to Switzerland.
Crazy. Right.
Still rest in peace to it though. You know what I'm saying? Just you ain't too much you can say about a legend who lived that long, who put so much type of music in your soul and your life. Mm-hmm. So it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing bad you can say about it, but eat the cake, Anime. Eat the cake.
Of course, this is breaking news. The tributes are only now starting to roll in, but we can imagine that they will be widespread because she had such an international popularity and that inspiration that had fans over decades and decades of her career.
Legend is a word that we hear a lot about, but it is so apt in this conversation to describe this figure, really a towering figure, if you think about it, over the decades in music. Again, if you're just joining us, we have just gotten word through her spokesperson that Tina Turner has died at the age of 83. We've been talking a bit about her biography. She was born Anna Mae Bullock back in 1939 in Nutbush, Tennessee.
Anna Mae Bullock. Ooh, Anna Mae Bullock. That's old Anna Mae Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
Anna Mae.
Oh, Anna Mae.
That's why he said. I thought that was like just something he was saying. Anna Mae eat that cake.
Her name was Anna Mae Bullock.
See, I thought it was just saying that it just oh Anna Mae. Rest in peace to you.
She shot to fame and stardom as the singer in the band Ike and Tina Turner Revue. Later, though, as we've been talking about, came to be successful in her own right as a solo artist, as an individual artist, displaying incredible energy, vitality on stage, thrilling millions of fans, selling hundreds of millions of records. Some of her many hits, as we've said, What's Love Got to Do with It, Private Dancer, Simply the Best. And so we are hearing from a number of people with their reflections today.
And one person that we're lucky to be joined by with his reflections, Kevin Frazier of Entertainment Tonight. Hey, Kevin, you hear Elaine and I talking about how Tina was a legend. As we're first reacting to this news of her passing, what are your first thoughts?
My first thoughts are what a powerhouse she was and how so many performers today owe a debt of gratitude to Tina Turner because her performance, I'm old enough to remember her on TV in the Ike and Tina Turner Revue when she would play on different shows, and the energy when they would perform Proud Mary, and how, you have to remember at that time school kids would imitate Tina Turner. It was like this electric person on stage, and now you see it in so many other performers like Beyonce. You see in her performances a nod to Tina Turner. And then a woman who was in financial trouble, had to fight her way out of a bad situation, and then in 1984 with the release of Private Dancer, took the world by storm. That's an album that sold 10 million copies.
But, I think it's so interesting, as Elaine and I were talking, Kevin, about part.
You see what you say? The Roby, Sweet Pie, also. I kick what the Sweetie Pie. I looked that name up, Miss Robbie. Courtney. Who is Miss Robbie? Sweetie Pie. Is that the lady whose son killed the nephew? Nah, that was I don't know. Sweetie Pie, Miss Ruby. Miss Robbie, Miss Ruby.
What happened, baby?
Nah, nothing. I was just saying something. Go ahead. Go do what you're doing.
Sweetie Pie.
Ain't that's the lady who that the son had? Oh, Ike's backup singer. Oh, that was her. I ain't know that. You heard?
What?
You know the lady Sweetie Pie.
Yeah.
The whose son killed his nephew, the grandson.
Yeah.
She used to be a backup singer for Tina Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah.
Oh, she knew that. I ain't know that. Yeah, I ain't know that. See what I'm saying? That's why we gotta have people like you around that can tell us stuff like that. My wife younger than me, and she knew that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Tim Newman's mother. But I knew the Sweetie Pie situation, but I didn't know she was a backup singer for one of the for the. Damn. This call, let's talk. Then shit, you let me know something I didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Of Tina's voice and part of her story is that grittiness, that realness that for so long when she was part of the review she didn't reveal. But when she felt like she was willing to share the truth about her life, so much more opened up for her. What was it about Tina Turner that you think really resonated with her fans?
I think that people, the second half of her career, because in the first half, it was just this groundbreaking artist and this music that everybody loved. In the second half, I think that people saw her.
Oh, you from St. Louis?
Doing things on her terms.
Oh, you from St. Louis? That's like, okay.
Because if you remember, that album really was a way of her letting out all those inner demons that she had held in for so long, that she began to tell the story. And then let's not forget Angela Bassett's brilliant portrayal of Tina and how she brought to light so many of the stories we didn't know about the abuse she suffered throughout her career. And also, there are other things about Tina Turner we have to remember, how she was a groundbreaker in the fact that she was the first African-American Black artist on the cover of Rolling Stone and the first female. People forget about that. There's so many things that she did, and she changed the way we look at it. If you remember, in those early days of MTV, in those early 80s, there weren't a lot of Black artists on. So when we saw Tina walking, strutting down the street with What's Love Got to Do with It, you were like, wow. In that wig, in that denim outfit, it was electric. And, she went on to capture the world with that album, Private Dancer.
Electric is exactly the word to describe her performances. We want to bring into this conversation Joe Levy. He's the editor-at-large at Billboard. Joe, thanks very much for joining us. Your initial thoughts here on the news that Tina Turner has died at the age of 83.
At Chevron, we're working to help reduce the carbon intensity of the fuels that keep things moving.
All right, hold on, y'all. Gotta let this commercial go ahead and fly by. Let the commercial go and that miniskirt.
Tina Turner has died at the age of 83.
We have lost a musical giant and one who was an icon for the persona, the way she presented herself, the performance, for the music that she made. I've just described several different aspects of her career that are titanic, simply as a symbol, as an iconic presence, important to a variety of communities, the fashion community, the performance community, the drag community. Simply just to look at her was to be in her power, but to see her, to hear her, absolutely titanic.
And Joe, I want to just read for our viewers a statement that we're just getting from Tina Turner's manager for 30 years, Roger Davies. He said, Tina was a unique and remarkable force of nature with her strength, incredible energy, and immense talent. From the first day I met her in 1980, she believed in herself completely when few others did at that time. It was a privilege and an honor to have been a close friend, as well as her manager for more than 30 years. I will miss her deeply. I wonder, Joe, if you could talk a bit about the timelessness of her appeal. Through the decades, generations of fans came to know and appreciate her music in a way that still very much resonates today.
Well, that's absolutely right. And that's partly because of what she and Roger Davies accomplished working together from 1980 forward, which was an entirely new career for an icon of the late 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. A rebirth. We would say as a solo artist, no longer part of Ike and Tina Turner, but a complete rebirth as a performer and as a musical artist. Very, very few people were able to change their sound to keep up with what was happening in the 1980s and retain the essence of what had made them a star in the 1960s as she had. And to do so and to become, on her own terms, a symbol of fierce independence and survival. We would now say that the stories that she told in her autobiography, we might classify them as Me Too stories. She was the subject of abuse. She was not taken seriously and given her independence, even though she is the reason that Ike Turner became a star. His name is known because of what she did with the music they made together. And yet, she was not given her own agency. She was not given her own respect. She was not given her own power. She took those things at a time, as Roger Davies, her manager, points out, in 1980, when no one was ready to take her seriously. She took herself seriously, and then she made the world take her seriously. And again, there are so many reasons to look to her and to be awed by her besides the music alone. And the music alone was enough. And I mean the music, what you hear on the records. We think often of the Tina Turner performance, which was earth-shaking and changed the way that many people performed on stage. Mick Jagger is very clear about the debt that he owes to her, as he owed to several other performers, icons, that he took and blended into a performance style of his own. But hers, if I say to you, Tina Turner, you think of what she looks like, how she moves, how she sings. Those are three different things. Three different things, each of them major accomplishments.
How she looks, how she moves, how she sings. I want to bring Kevin into this conversation because Tina had a style that was all her own. And while it was gorgeous and strong, I think it's worth noting it was also unapologetically black. She was proud of her blackness. And, you know, Kevin, you made the point that
Hold on. She was proud of her blackness. What the hell that supposed to mean? Nah, that's not, yeah. I don't, but she, and it's a, what? So, all right. See, now this gonna give me the open flow. When I do videos about people that's proud of their whiteness, or their Europeanness, or their Caucasian. I ain't like that word. Now that's not. Oh Lord, that just. You could choose so many words to say out your mouth. You can choose so many words to say out your mouth that they had to go that way and that route and to say something stupid like that. Her blackness. This ain't something like what? So they proud of their paleness. What? Oh y'all, yeah, that just blows. That's just blow me. That just blow me. Yeah, rest in peace, Tina Turner. I'm sorry for now. I'm not even sorry. When you catch up with her and wherever she go in the afterworld, you make sure you do that shuffle dance on her neck. Cause boy, look at here. Her blackness. What? Oh my God. Hold on, I gotta hear that one more time. I ain't hear that right.
How she sings. I want to bring Kevin into this conversation because Tina had a style that was all her own. And while it was gorgeous and strong, I think it's worth noting it was also unapologetically black. She was proud of her blackness.
This nigga looked like, what? Why do everything that goes along with black folks? We say rest in peace to Tina Turner, a legend in the music game. You know what I'm saying? A Grammy, all this stuff. And we always got to go back to white people saying stupid stuff like that. I was at first I was enjoying the whole interview thing, man. I don't like when they call us African Americans. I don't like that. I don't like they said that. But you know, yeah, they was already messing up right there. Then you gonna say her blackness. And this nigga here look like I know she didn't say nothing like this. Hold on, show y'all how buddy look. They lucky I can't stop it at the right time. Look at this nigga. Hey, look at his face. This how he looked right here when she said what she said.
And you know, Kevin, you made the
Things. Those are three different things.
Hold on, that's how
Three
buddy looked at.
different things. Each of them major accomplishments.
how she looks, how she moves, how she sings. I want to bring Kevin into this conversation because Tina had a style that was all her own.
The one in the green
And
jacket, the one
while,
saying this now.
It was gorgeous and strong. I think it's worth noting it was also unapologetically black. She was proud of her blackness. And, you know, Kevin, you made the point that she was the first black woman to ever be on the cover.
Boy, hold on. I gotta catch this nigga face, y'all. Hold up. But y'all seen how he looked. We're gonna let that go on.
Unapologetically black.
she was proud of her blackness. And, Kevin, you made the point that she was the first, black woman to ever be on the cover of Rolling Stone. I want to get her own. And while it was gorgeous and strong, I think it's worth noting it was also unapologetically black. She was proud.
So what, we supposed to apologize about us being black? Oh shit! Oh, what is going on these days? What? Unapologetic. All right, y'all. I'm sorry for being black, y'all. I'm unapologetically black.
Proud of her blackness. And, Kevin, you made the point that she
Proud
was
of
the
her
first
blackness.
black woman to ever be on the cover of Rolling Stone. I want to give some space for us to talk about her legacy, particularly as one of those legendary forces pushing for acceptance and greater understanding of the Black experience in America.
This shit is just. Oh, see, this the reason. This the reason right here. Right here is the reason why white folks shouldn't say nothing when it comes to black people, and they should stick to just talking about white folks. Lord. Rest in peace, Tina Turner. Rest in peace. This is why Caucasians need to speak on Caucasian matters and let black folks speak on black folks. They could have had a black news report. They got black dudes sitting right there. They should have kept this shit with a black person, because that shit just pissed me off.
Forces pushing for acceptance and greater understanding of the Black experience in America.
Well, the first thing you have to think about is how that album, how that Private Dancer album.
Y'all heard at first how this man was talking. He was so uppity until this lady said what she said, and his whole expression of the day. I know he got some things he wanted to say off his chest, but
crossed over. It was rock and roll. It was pop music, but in the African American community, it was seen as Tina.
See, they got to stop this African American shit though. I'm a Black American. I'm a native of this land, man. They need to cut that junk out. Rest in peace, Tina Turner, man. Listen to this, Courtney.
What is it?
Listen.
Well, the first thing you have to think about is how that album.
Different things.
Listen to what this lady said.
Major accomplishments.
This is what this lady said.
How she looks, how she moves, how she sings. I want to bring Kevin into this conversation because Tina had a style that was all her own. And while it was gorgeous and strong, I think it's worth noting it was also unapologetically Black. She was proud of her Blackness. And, Kevin, you made the point that she was the first Black woman to ever be on the cover of Rolling Stone. I want to give some space for us to talk about her legacy, particularly as one of those legendary forces.
What we supposed to be unapologetic about? They ain't unapologetic about being white.
Greater understanding.
They ain't unapologetic about hanging people. They ain't unapologetic about being white, doing mass murder, killing kids and shit. What the hell would that make sense?
We're not gonna apologize for being black.
No, what I'm saying, what was the sense of saying that?
It was no reason.
It's crazy.
But in the African American community, it was seen as Tina Turner. And so that is why that appealed to so many people, because it was like, wow, it was a risk that she took, and it seemed like
it's still that shit never came out of my mouth.
But it was groundbreaking, and she was accepted all the way around. And I think back to that incredible concert in Rio, where you see that massive crowd and how she was soaking in the moment and realizing that she had now skyrocketed to dizzying heights, higher than ever before. And maybe that also explains why she chose to live the last portion of her life quiet, in solitude, outside of Zurich, and kind of quietly taking in everything she did. But as a Black woman, she was able to scale and go to a place where few others had before. And if you look back at those artists that meant so much to us in the 60s, how they struggled, and she was the one who broke out and changed everything.
Yeah, she talked about the racism that she felt, particularly coming up with some execs.
We supposed to be saying rest in peace to Tina Turner. Why do when we talk about black folks, when white folks talk about black folks, they always go back to this racism shit? When y'all is the cause of the racism shit. I don't get why keep going down that rabbit hole, and then we got to bite our tongue because we got to be unapologetic and talk to a Caucasian, a white person, but they can say the most disrespectful phrases towards us, even in our death. Damn, boy, this shit rough, boy.
I get what you're saying about that. Like, because of everything that's been going on, why even bring up her color? What her color had to do with anything? She did goodness in her life. She did her greatness. So
This
why
crazy.
color?
Because every time with a Caucasian, they always got to belittle a motherfucker. Why would you go back and talk about race and all this and slavery and racism? Why are you talking about that shit? Man, that's crazy. It always goes back to a Caucasian got to be belittling a black person, no matter even in their death.
Disparaging her in a particularly profound
Bitch, your life disparaging because your ass in the motherfucking news
Turner
reporter room.
said once that these difficult experiences, quote, could have shattered me, but instead became fuel for my journey, propelling me upward. Yeah, I mean, Kevin, because I want to go back to this idea that Joe kind of brought up a moment ago, that her own story of triumph and what she overcame would be classified today as a Me Too kind of story. But back then, it was a time when women weren't necessarily believed, and a black woman in particular sharing this must have been a courageous act at a time when she was really...
See, this what drags conversations the wrong way. That's why I'm saying they need to let white folks speak about these mass shootings. They need to let them talk about the kids getting R-word by their fathers and stuff like that. They need to talk. They let them continue talking about that. Because when every time they talk about a black person, even in their death, they got to bring up this racism shit. You got to bring up the negativity that they don't. I don't think Caucasians understand that y'all crossed the sea to get over here to our country, but you had a nerve to keep on disparaging us even in our death. This pussy asshole done pissed me off. This pussy asshole done pissed me off. And then they got the Chong Wong sitting on the side speaking on it too. Man, this shit ain't, man. This shit, man, I'm through with this, y'all, man. I'll catch y'all in a minute, man. That shit done pissed me off. Rest in peace, Tina Turner, man. Man, look here, man. You gonna be something else, man. Boy, y'all something else, boy.